Welcome back to another episode of Road Games Podcast. We have our guest here today, Deshane, Alex. How's it going, guys?
I'm good, man.
Blessed, man. It's an honor to be on here, truthfully.
I'm glad we finally were able to get you guys on. I want to first touch, how did you guys meet? Before we get to everything, how did it start for you guys?
At Queens University, man. Just playing basketball. As always, right?
Yeah. I think we met, tryouts?
Or something like that, bro.
Playing tryouts?
Yeah, hooping and just went. I mean, there's not a lot of black people at Queens, right? You see people that, it's just
very quickly.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
Lock in with the few that's out there.
With the few that's out there. I'm sure you know a Lakehead, probably. Yeah.
A little similar story. But y'all tried out for the Queens team?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's initially.
Yeah. When was that?
2017.
Oh, that's a minute ago.
Time ago.
Yeah.
Were they nice? Because you seen this year they won.
Not like they were this year.
Yeah,
like
this
that.
Year
Then not so much, but back like now though,
they're insane
for sure. Did you guys play against them this year?
Yeah, this year I didn't play, but last year we played. Yeah, we played at Queens too. And that was my first time going to Queens, which was crazy, and it was actually I'm like, dang, this campus got some shit on it, you know? There's some shit going on out here.
That's a good way to describe it.
That's
a very good way to describe it.
Queens, that's a crazy party school.
Yo,
it was something else. It was different.
Another world out there, honestly.
So besides the party aspect, how do you think Queens helped you guys with your realty business? Do you think it had any impact on it or not really?
I would say definitely. I would say the impact comes from your network.
Okay.
The one thing about Queens I will say is the people that go there,
mm-hmm.
They come from usually high families, end up in big places, and just having those kind of connections for the programs that we want to run, the investments we want to have, those are people that we met at school there.
And another thing is university was more connections. Now that I'm thinking about it, the more connections you had, it kind of helps you because at least you could maybe use those later in life.
You guys want a drink, by the way?
Yeah, which one? This?
Oh yeah, no, appreciate it.
Because I feel especially going to Queens, how many rich kids you probably encountered that might ask you for advice, or they might even know a property that you should be on this.
And I'll tell you though, these rich kids, these are not Ottawa rich kids. These are old money. Dad's on Bay Street. Grandpa was whoever.
Yeah,
and
it was a Waldorf.
Right,
something crazy.
No, this is old serious money. They probably don't actually have to work if they don't want to. Trust fund kids, real rich kids.
Yeah, you were telling me that too. There was trust fund.
Oh yeah. Well, think about it. A lot of these kids, where do they go? UCC, St. George, all these schools. Tuition at there, if you want to go 1 to 12 to UCC, that's got to be $500,000.
Jeez.
Yeah.
$500,000 before
uni. Yeah.
I think one of those the cheaper side schools are paying $20,000 a year.
Yeah.
UCC's 50 G's a year, no?
Plus probably for boarding and stuff too.
Yeah. Those are Kingston schools?
Nah, Toronto.
No, Toronto.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Toronto high school private schools.
Jeez.
Yeah, but they all like to go to Queens, and
the elite.
Right.
Yeah.
You'll see a lot.
Yeah. And also you're around a bunch of rich kids, right? So you're seeing them do their stuff. They've got there was a bunch of people, what were those people, 437, those girls, a bunch of entrepreneurs, bunch of business people. So you're seeing that, you're in that environment. We also went to a bunch of commerce events in their business school.
Okay.
So, you're getting immersed in that, and it's just it I don't know about inspires is the word, but I guess it pushes you in that direction.
Yeah, and I also I feel just growing up in Toronto and just the environment you're in, being pulled from that into a different environment just kind of opens up your mind and gives you a different perspective on life and what man's want to really do with their life. And everything. So Queens was a really sick environment for that. Just kind of opened your mind and shit.
Wait, I wanted to ask. So, what did y'all take there?
Sociology.
Both y'all were in the same thing.
A lot of same classes too.
Okay. So y'all had met at the trials first, or you're in classes already kicking it, or?
I think it was basketball first, and then and then
it's probably the first week of school.
Yeah.
I don't even know if class even started yet.
Right. Yeah, and then going to classes though too. At that point, sharing textbooks, sharing answers. However they might.
Did you do the homework?
Right. Some people call it cheating. Some people call it using your resources.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
Exactly what you need. Bro.
So what was when did the idea come that you guys were gonna do this? Because you originally before this you were doing other stuff at the school, right? Haircut. You're doing food. You were already spreading your network around beforehand. So when did this come about?
No, I'll let you take that one, broski.
Word. Probably like the pandemic is when we really started like doing it for real. Like for me, like summer like 2019 or something like that, I started really like getting into real estate. So I worked this job. I was like a lifeguard, and I worked at this pool, and nobody swam at the damn pool. Nobody. I would go to this pool. I would sit. I'm bringing podcasts, books, everything. So I'm just sitting in this pool. Nobody's coming to swim. I'm just getting smarter the whole time, learning about shit, writing stuff down, learning, seeing like, okay, eventually this is something I want to do. And then obviously the pandemic hits, right? And it's like, okay, cool, you have time. And then I knew Deshane was super into like finance and all that stuff because you were doing like Amazon and everything.
I was doing Amazon FBA at the time, so I was like, creating online stores. Just had the entrepreneurial mindset.
Yeah.
I think kind of, AG came to me and was like, yo, like I want to invest in real estate. Like these are like some ideas. Kind of gave me some insight on like initially wholesaling, where we started with wholesaling. So
explain them what that is.
Bro. There you go. Like, wholesaling basically is whenever you purchase a property, right? They get the right to purchase. That right to purchase can be sold to somebody else.
Sign contract.
So, if I bought a house for $100,000, it's worth $150. I can sell it to somebody for $110. Just the right to buy that property.
Okay.
And that's what wholesaling is. So we initially started doing that, doing research, watching some YouTube videos. I think Jerry Norton was actually the first person I initially watched. And I think we spent a whole summer just, doing Uber, not working a full-time job, just to study and make phone calls and kind of dive into it. And that's initially how I started. Then COVID kind of hit, bro. Yeah. COVID hit, and that COVID money kind of just took things off.
Them serve checks were nice.
Paychecks.
Serve paychecks. Yeah, so we were putting that towards it. We were doing the wholesaling. Like, with that, like, didn't really make any money with that. And honestly, like, we were doing a lot of things wrong. I'm not even gonna lie.
For sure.
Like, a lot of things wrong. Like just not really knowing the game at all.
Of wholesaling?
Yeah. Just real estate in general. Doing a lot of things wrong. Like, it's one of those things where you really learn by doing. Like, you can read 100%. Books, you can listen to podcasts, all that. But, like, once you really do it and invest in it, it's like, okay, cool. Like, I'm in this, right?
Yeah.
So we started doing that. Weren't really getting bread from that. And now we're going to, like, it was like senior year we got our first deal, the first flip.
Going into
what?
5th year?
Fourth
year.
Yeah. So 2021, we bought our first property. Bought it for, what was it, $36,000?
Yep. And it was a cold call that we just found for, like, generating lists online and just calling these properties. We actually got on the phone with some of these guys, and they were willing to sell the property for $36,000. And we realized, the property go for $100,000. Contacted a private lender, got $25,000 to rehab the property, and put it back on the market 5 months later.
I sold that. So then that was the first taste of money really from it. And then at that point, it was just like
addicting.
Right. But also, like, mind you, too, we got all this money in college.
Yeah, 5th year.
Right.
Yeah. Like $20,000.
Yeah.
So tell us, like, what was that experience like? Because now you're on campus with money. Like, it's like an NIL deal at that point. You got money, Like,
I wish I was smarter with the money, if I'm being honest
100%.
with you.
100%.
For sure.
But yeah, no, like, it was different. Like, bro, like, we would go to the, bars. Like, you're in college. Like, all you want to do is kind of go out and party.
Yeah.
You have all this money, like, 20 G's to play with right now.
It was like 25 American though.
Yeah, you want to play with this money. Like, we're buying bottles, Ciroc, like every single weekend, flying out to Miami.
Yeah, it was crazy.
But you do gotta enjoy it at the same time.
You gotta enjoy it, right? Nah, for sure. Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, you guys there.
But I have one question about the wholesaling, because me, I love real estate. I took business, so I'm addicted to all that shit. But so with the wholesaling, like, let's say I say, okay, I got to deal with someone for like 50 bands on the crib. How long do I have to find another buyer?
So usually this is set up in your contracts. When you create a purchase agreement contract, you can set up your inspection period. Okay. So during your inspection period is when you would find a buyer. That can be anywhere between 7 days to 14 days. So usually you have about 7 to 14 days to be able to find a buyer without the legal obligation to have to purchase this property. So you got to cancel the property, like cancel the contract within those 14 days.
Oh, so if I can't find someone in the 14 days, it's all good. We can just cancel it.
Yeah, you can just cancel the contract.
No problem.
Yep. If you put that in your clause.
Yeah, if you put that in your clause.
Okay.
That's a major important thing.
If not, it's your responsibility.
Yeah.
To buy this crib.
Yeah.
So like, that can cause some issues with people, like with sellers that don't want to run the risk of you not closing on the contract. So that's where, like, the aspect of creating relationships and being on the phone with these people really come into effect. I think our first one, like, I was texting this person back and forth, like, constantly. Like,
it's a lot of phone calls and emails.
A lot of phone calls and emails. Once you're in that moment for sure.
So do you feel like people weren't taking you guys seriously to start, or right away people were taking you seriously? Like, how would it work? Because you were young, right? Like,
definitely not. I mean, even still now.
Even
still now. Because you gotta think, bro. Like, most of these people are like 45 plus.
Yeah.
Right. So you tell them you're like, I'm 24.
Yeah.
You tell them I'm 24 years old. Like, that's like, to them you're still big guy. Like they'll call you that big guy, buddy, all that.
Buddy.
Trust me. Yeah.
Yeah, like, for sure. Like, these guys are way, way older. Every event you go to, youngest investors there, hands down.
No, but that's good though to start early. It's actually like inspiring and stuff. Y'all like invest in like stocks or crypto or any of that? Yeah.
So, and a lot more in crypto. I not holding any now, but back when earlier with Bitcoin, definitely invested a lot into that. I need the money, but
I do stocks, not crypto. I don't really understand crypto like that. So,
I don't understand it, but I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy like some of the top 10 coins and then just hold on for dear life. You know those ones, and just see what happens.
I think that's the best way to go. But I think long-term investing,
just hold it.
Just hold it.
Yeah,
you won't lose. You only lose when you sell.
Exactly.
That's it. So till then, like, fuck it, hold it for 30 years, $4,000 a month or a year. Sorry, that's hundreds of thousands, like half $1,000,000 in 30 years. Imagine that.
So how do you guys find properties? Like you said, you're doing the cold calling, but then actually, like, you could find them online, but do you go and see all the properties you find, or how does that work?
We have people's out there.
Okay, so you've had a network of like a little team, I guess.
Now.
Okay.
We got people's out there that'll manage it, look at it, go to places if we need something to be checked out, all that. Contractors to fix stuff. Agents, everything's sort of put in place now.
But prior to that, it was just videos and photos. Like, we get the listing agent to like give us a walkthrough on FaceTime, and then we have to look at it because we live in Canada and we only invest in Indiana right now.
Okay.
So there's no way to see these properties when we buy them.
Yeah, I did see that. I was wondering why there. Like, I know some states in the U.S. have cheaper like properties and stuff. Is that part of why?
That's a big part of it.
That's the main reason I would say.
And also just taxes in Indiana, because it's like a more like conservative state, so they're low.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, they're only paying like 1%, 2% property tax.
Okay, and I was wondering, so like, because the Canadians, are we even allowed to just go and buy American properties?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah?
You can.
Like, I thought you might need to like go through some stuff just because it's not in Canada.
Nah, I mean, I can see why you would think that for sure. I definitely, I kind of thought that too. But nah.
You just go hit them up and say, I want this, and you pay, boom.
Yeah, I feel like, just going to buy a property for sure. But investing, you do need to set up your corporation as an American corporation.
Yeah, I mean, but you still can.
Yeah, you
like
still
do deals without it though.
But even like there definitely is some issues like when we deal with agents.
Yeah. There can be like logistics and stuff, sending money over like out of a business account, getting it moved. Buying as a LLC as opposed to like an individual. It definitely helps to have it, because then like you have we have like an individual tax number and like all that stuff. Like the IRS is aware of us,
Yeah. Yo, the man said the IRS is aware of us.
They're aware still.
What do you mean by that? Like, because of you, like you're making money in their country, right?
You're making money in their country, and it's like, we don't have visas. We're not Americans.
Yeah.
So it's like we had to get registered as an American LLC, and so like as soon as you do that, you got to get an individual tax number. You got to get all that set up. You'll talk to the IRS, get your docs in, paying property taxes. I remember we got a letter to my house, and I'm thinking it says to Alex Gittins, D2A Realty, right? So I'm like, oh, company mail, like who's that, right? So I'm thinking this is great, right? Open it up, property taxes due. I'm like, damn. Found
they
you.
Ain't playing around. That's crazy. So you guys have an LLC. So that's American, right? Because you're only in the States, so it doesn't really matter in Canada.
Honestly, transparency, I don't have a lot of knowledge on the Canadian market, like what it really takes. to like invest in Canada.
Yeah, we just don't like to. I mean, there are LLCs out here though.
Yeah, for sure. You can easily incorporate online.
Yeah.
For $200 to do it in Canada.
Is that how much it is?
Yeah.
Word. Yeah, it's like 50 in Indiana, something like that. Yeah.
50.
$50, yeah, something like that.
Oh, it's a bit different. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like $220 in Canada, bro.
Yeah, and truthfully, like you really don't need to be like some business mogul or something. Like really, anybody can do it.
Truthfully.
Yeah, that's good. Like people need to know that because people probably see what you guys do and think like, they have so much knowledge and like
that's not even the case though.
You guys just started in COVID right before COVID, so anyone can pick it up and do it. Right?
For sure. Like I'll tell you though, we did a lot of things wrong. Like we would get on the phone and say things to people that we thought were like correct, and it just was not the case. Like it was wrong. Like so like
the statement like experience is the best teacher is very true, man.
Yeah.
You learn by doing. For sure.
Definitely learn by losing money too.
So were you losing money before you were making money in a sense, just because you didn't know what you were doing, or
no?
Okay.
Money has been lost.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like we actually ironically we made money first before we ever lost money.
At least.
Yeah.
Do you think that would have changed anything, or?
I think it's good we didn't lose money the first time.
That's true. Honestly,
especially when we were in university, like
lost paying rent and all that, and
lost a shit ton of money. It would have been like, damn. Especially when we didn't work that summer, so we kind of were banking on it, getting that money.
Jeez.
So y'all like really locked in. Y'all said, okay, we're not even gonna work full time. I'm gonna just go basically build like a side hustle and learn a skill, like basically either flipping or wholesaling houses. Y'all really went all in that and said, okay, this is gonna pay off. When you guys did that, did you think, okay, I'm gonna make it a company and do all these things, or like did y'all have that plan already?
Yeah. I feel like
overall for sure.
Yeah, definitely knew I want to make a company, but I think the dream has grown for sure compared to where it initially started. I feel like initially, we're just trying to make some bread and like grow assets, but now we're thinking like expanding the company. Having different departments. We're introducing an investment program now. And our network has gotten so much deeper since then. It was kind of like changed the trajectory of where we really want to take it.
Yeah, for sure. And actually on that deal we talked about that we lost money on, that's actually the one where we probably met the most people. Yeah. So a lot of good did come from that. And it's like,
I feel like when you're drowning, you make a lot of moves.
Yeah, you kind of just have to.
Because you just got to get out of it, man.
Yeah.
Right.
I like that you were saying that though about like you had dreams and then you've kind of done with that and now there's bigger dreams, because like I feel like even for us we've had stuff that we wanted to do. We just want to make like, okay, let's get to 5 podcasts and 10, and it's like we're just saying like,
I mean, you guys are
15, like we're moving, like obviously we still have ways to go, but we've come a long way from where we thought originally we would be at, right? Like I didn't know we'd be this far already, but we're doing good. So
exactly.
I want to talk about you brought up about the wealth management.
Yeah.
You're introducing something else. So what is that?
Yeah, and actually this might be something for you actually, because you were saying that you really like investing and all that stuff. You're business minded, but you're also a professional athlete, if I'm not mistaken.
About to be.
About to be one. Yeah. I was telling him you were my least favorite person to match up with in basketball. by a mile.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, no, I remember back in the days we used to, and even when we were on Goldberg and shit.
Phoenix too.
Yeah, back in the day. What a time to be alive. It's crazy how it flies though. Like
dog, that was 10 years ago.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
it's craziness.
Yeah, crazy. Absolutely. But anyway, so what he's up here for actually? Yeah. So you guys know James Peter? Yeah. So he plays for the Red Blacks. With him, he's gonna be one of our first like athletes that we're bringing into this program. So what we're doing, we've met. As we said, like we've got all the network connected, right? So we've got contractors, agents, consultants, everything you'll need to get started into real estate. All the stuff we didn't have when we were first getting in. And so what we want to do is we want to bring pro athletes on, guys who have money because they're getting paid, they're pro athletes, a decent amount of time, and it gives them a chance while they're playing to build some real wealth. So we'll plug them in, bring them in, give them all the resources, everything they need. We just had James on with a couple calls talking to some investors about B&Bs, like Airbnbs in Indianapolis. We had another guy come in talking about turnkey, like rentals, buy and holds. So we're sponsoring you guys see he's got that high school football showcase?
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
Right, so we're one of the company sponsors for that. So we'll be out there talking to some athletes. We've got a couple kids actually out there that are, one kid just committed to McMaster.
No way.
He's out there, so he's with us now. We're working with him. Got another kid in high school. right? So we're trying to build these athletes and give them an opportunity to really build wealth while they're playing, and then by the time they step away from the game, everything's already set up for them. Because, you know, like, a lot of these guys, you know, like, CFL players, overseas basketball players, they make good money, but by the time the ball stops bouncing, right, and they're, you know, 35 years old, 36 years old, like, still got a lot of life left. You know, better secure some assets, build it up, and then by the time you get out, you might not have to go and work a 9-to-5 job because you've been building up assets. And you keep building that, you know, and you can do the stuff you actually want to do. Like, if you want to train, keep hooping, do all that stuff, and then you've got a portfolio of things, you know, you're good, taken care of.
The way I looked at it too, bro, is like, if you just get like 5 to 10 properties and then like over 15, 20 years they pay themselves off, you're just getting that rental income every month and you're just chilling, you know? Like, even if you, when the mortgage is paid off, you're really eating, you know?
Exactly.
But even if you make like 5 bills a month off your properties, it adds up crazy.
It's just like Monopoly.
Yeah. Real shit.
And those numbers are very doable.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And even Jay sent me a thread one time on Twitter. Every rich person invests in real estate. Invest in real estate. Like,
they're most millionaires compared to any industry.
Yeah. And like, if you look to the average millionaire actually has 7 streams of income.
7, huh?
Yeah. So, you know, whatever that might be. Some guys have a personal brand. Some guys invest in stocks, like you said. Some guys real estate. So, you know, obviously, it's an opportunity to get you to the places you want to be.
And I think, you know, going with real estate, it counters against inflation, you know, because those properties are constantly going to appreciate. So that value of what it holds will continue to grow and stay, you know, consistent over time. So it's a great asset to hold down.
When that money's sitting in your bank account, like, you know, it's getting eaten at every time, every single year. Exactly.
What's it called? I wanted to know, for when y'all are looking for a deal, like, what are some things that make it a good deal for you guys? Like, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy, like, this house separates from the others, you know?
That's 2 factors. I think it depends on what your exit strategy is. So your exit strategy, you know what you're gonna do with this property. Are you gonna short-term rental it? Are you gonna long-term rental it? Are you gonna flip this property? Are you gonna wholesale this property? Those, depending on your exit strategy, will determine on what are the factors you're looking for. If you're looking for a long-term rental, the general rule of thumb is the 1% rule. So the monthly rent should be 1% of the how much you bought the property for. So $100,000, it should at least rent for $1,000 a month. Something for like flipping, you're looking for a property that has a high after repair value, which is how much it will sell for once you fix it up. And like, so then to figure out that number, you just want to know, you know, what you're purchasing for, how much you're putting into, and as long as there's a spread between the value and how much you put into the property, will determine whether it's a good property. So those are kind of the main things you kind of want to look for. But when it comes down to real estate, a lot of it is the numbers. You know, you follow your numbers, you analyze your deals thoroughly, and you can do it quickly. You can do these analyzations. They don't need to take time because speed is a big factor in real estate. So it truly just comes down to the numbers and looking at that kind of stuff.
And saying you have to move quick to get the deals.
Oh, man. It's competitive now, right? Because, you know, everybody was talking like post-pandemic, 2022, something like that. No one's really buying houses, inflation rates, all that. Now they're at a number where people like, and now people are just selling. So the inventory's back up. But obviously people want to go and pick those up. So you see a good deal, it's not going to last long.
You better act quick.
You got to act quick. You got to act quick for sure.
We've had times where we saw a deal, we analyzed it, got someone to walk the property, submit an offer. So within, like, let's say a 4-hour span, seeing it to putting an offer and doing the whole walkthrough and analyzation, we lost the property because someone put an offer in 20 minutes before us. So that, you know, it's fast paced. Really, really quick things are happening.
And mind you, we're doing this from another country. So if we're doing this, like, there's probably somebody from Israel doing it. There's probably somebody from China doing it. There's probably somebody from across the country, maybe in California doing it. Right? So it's not just the local investors you're competing with, too.
That's a little difficult, though. Like, that's like, bro, you can't even just go see what's happening in the crib. You got to make sure so many people, like, are, like, checking out the crib for you and stuff. It's kind of, it's a bit hectic.
That's definitely trust and like having a good team are very, very important in being able to run a successful business.
You gotta have a little luck too, though, because like you're trusting these people, and it's like, yeah, you talk to them on the phone and all that, but it's like you don't really know them.
Like you don't know where this guy lives.
Right? Like you know, like I don't know what he does, what his day-to-day looks like. Like he just gets on the phone when I need to talk to him about a property. Right? So it's like, not everybody's gonna be your best friend in that either, and we've definitely experienced that as well.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
It's you definitely gotta have a little luck, for sure.
So what do you guys have planned, like more like in the future? Like, have you guys thought of like a longer term plan, 5 years, like what it'll look like, what your business will look like
in 5 years from now?
Yeah, like what do you guys think it'll be at?
Yeah, I definitely think in 5 years from now, first off, we're gonna have a few athletes under our athlete investment program, and I'm hoping to get a point where at least we have, 5 units, 5 rental properties, 5 rental properties in our portfolio, and maybe a few, short-term, B&Bs. I think that's where we're starting in the next month or so. Just to get into Airbnbs.
We just signed an agreement today, actually, on that.
Yeah,
Airbnb.
okay. Yep. So we just started that. So I think that's kind of what I think will be the next 5 years.
Yeah, next 5 years out, probably. The overall goal is like we're trying to go national. Like our Meach from BMF, like literally. Yeah. That's what we're trying to do. I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't at least somewhat influenced in very serious decisions I make by that show. I would be lying.
But you know what? That's the way, like the scaling of it. That's how y'all gotta think. And once you get your first few, you're like, you just like, oh, this is too easy. Like,
yeah.
For me, I'm trying to get in the game. I actually have to tap in with y'all, but freaking when it seems like a little overwhelming, like like getting the down payment, getting the contract, and just like finding a good deal, and all those things,
And that's super valid though, because honestly, it is.
Yeah,
it definitely is. But like, if you were interested, we could have you set up with somebody who could fund your deals.
Yeah.
So you would have the lending. Like, I'm not gonna say, like, you see all these gurus go online saying do it with no money down. Like, that's cap.
Yeah.
You need your own money.
Yeah.
Like, I would say to really get started in it, what you think, like probably 10K, 5K, 10K.
Yeah, at least that.
Yeah,
at least that.
You're probably cool with 5 though, honestly.
Depending on at least 5, you can definitely start. Getting into Airbnbs and short-term rentals and stuff like that.
Yeah, because another question. So y'all got the B&B, right? So did y'all say, okay, I'm trying to rent from this person, and you ask for permission to B&B it, or like you bought a house and you're gonna B&B it?
We got a guy down there. My bad to cut you off. He's plugged in already. He's a super host on Airbnb. That's actually what it's called. Yeah, Airbnb super host, and he's already got an agreement with what is it, an apartment building?
Yeah.
An apartment building that he's got. So we're actually getting a unit with him, and he's got like a storage unit full of furniture. So that's really gonna cut our costs with that. He's got the cleaners. So he's already kind of set all that sort of up, but that kind of goes back to the point of the network. Really,
the network's so important.
Yeah, really, really influencing that.
So important.
Yeah.
Bro. So basically, y'all gonna just pay the rent, and then the B&B should cover it. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, because that's something I was looking into doing. Because that's like something you need. You don't need a lot of capital to start.
No.
Yeah, that's a good one for that.
For you, would you be more so interested in Canada, where you can actually go and see these properties, or would you be open to maybe going out on the American side?
Yeah, that's the thing. To be honest, if there's not much like logistical like inconveniences, it would be better, because obviously the States you could probably make more money. For sure. Canada's probably more expensive, and
it's tough. It's hard. It's hard. Yeah.
So me, like whatever would make the most sense, financially. But
yeah.
Like I always wanted a crib in Miami or Florida, so then I could just go, rent it out throughout the year and go in the winter months.
But you got the right idea though.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
Make your money back.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, that's good, man. That's good that you have that mindset already. That's fire.
For sure.
So what are some like misconceptions like of what people think of what you guys do is, but like actually is, if that makes sense?
Everybody thinks we're agents.
Agents?
Everybody thinks I'm a real estate agent.
Like, okay.
Everybody.
But what would you say you are?
A real estate investor.
Real estate investor.
To
clarify.
A sick term.
Okay. Yeah. No, these like I've dead had people like ask me to like help them sell a house.
Oh,
I'm not your guy.
Yeah.
But if you know somebody who can do that, let me know. Put me in touch with them.
Yeah, y'all didn't take nothing, no school courses for real estate?
0.
Nah.
And you're in the game.
In the game, man.
Yeah, that's what's up.
That's all I need to hear.
Just YouTube, man.
YouTube you.
Yeah.
That's it, bro.
But you though, you took
I took business
in school. That's gonna help you.
Yeah. It makes my mindset like entrepreneurial. So just this combo, I'm like, I need to lock in.
Okay, no, that's good, man. That's fire, and especially for you. So where are you gonna play?
I'm not sure yet. Like wherever like makes the most sense when my agent gets this deal. So we're gonna see. But freaking Somewhere in Europe for sure.
Okay, well, I mean, wherever that is, and you're going to be getting paid in euros, which are stronger than the American dollar. So, I mean, your point of entry will be that much better.
Yeah, my goal was to like, in a few years overseas, like, because once the checks is good enough to where like I'm trying to like put a down payment on the crib.
Yep.
Like after every season, you know, like that's eventually.
Good. Yeah.
And then boom, just rent it out. Like 15 years, I'll be nice, you know.
Yeah.
Nice.
Super.
The one thing is though, I am trying to learn how to like not use your own capital as much, you know, to get the deals or like to buy real estate.
Right. You can use other people's money, but think about it this way: using other people's money is a service. Mm-hmm. So you are paying for their money. Like we work with lenders, right? And on that deal where we lost money, the reason that we lost money on it was because of the holding costs. Mm-hmm. So we had our loan was what was it, 136 grand?
Yeah.
136 grand, and so every month we're getting charged like $1,000. Yeah. So every, that's coming, that's adding up to it. Yeah. I'm sure you understand interest.
Yeah.
So crazy. Right. So all of that is contributing to it. The longer you got to hold it, you'll get the money and you'll be able to do things and action that money. Mm-hmm. But like you said, time is everything. Yeah. So you want to quick turnarounds. Ideally, you're in and out in 90 days.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah. Easier said than done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems hectic. So. But let's say, so y'all usually do the wholesaling or usually like now in a phase where you're buying houses to flip or to B&B? What's your main thing right now?
We're mainly flippers now.
Yeah.
We mainly flip properties. Mm-hmm. That's what we've done a couple times. And now we're focusing on, getting into Airbnbs and short-term rental. I think that is where we're focused for the next little bit right now. Mm-hmm. But I would say we're just, flippers and now we'll be actually B&B people.
Yeah.
But for your flip, so most of the time you guys had found this, like, you didn't actually have to pay for the whole crib. You guys like made a deal and you made a better deal with someone else, right?
If you were wholesaling.
Yeah.
Okay.
But flipping, you guys actually like
we would be the person that is buying the better deal, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you're wholesaling and you're looking to sell that contract, more often than not, you're looking for another investor.
Yeah.
So that's why you want to sell it to them at a point where they can also make money.
Yeah.
Because then they'll buy it quickly from you.
Yeah. That's right.
But no, we weren't paying for the cribs ourselves.
Mm-hmm. No.
Fortunately, our lenders, pay for 100% of the rehab and the price of the property.
Okay.
So we don't really pay any money up front for the property. We only pay the monthly payments.
Yeah, so the holding cost, and so basically your profit, and then subtract the holding cost, and then
exactly.
You're good too. For finding a renter that's letting you do the Airbnb, is that difficult?
Well, we didn't really have to do that because that was like our guy already took care of that for us. I would assume yes, because B&Bs is something that's like real estate investors as a whole are kind of frowned upon because like it's just haters, bro. People want to just get a normal job. That's what they'll say or whatever. They don't want to see you getting money off that, and especially wholesalers. Yeah. Wholesalers are very much frowned upon because people are like, oh, why am I buying it from you when you're kind of the middleman? Yeah. And I don't blame them though. Cut out the middleman. I understand that.
Yeah.
Similar sentiments are definitely found towards B&B people. Mm-hmm. So I would imagine it's relatively difficult, but I'm blessed enough that I didn't have to experience that.
Yeah. Oh, so that was like your one try. You're like, okay.
Yeah.
Like you guys locked in.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it's just people don't want you to eat off of their property. It's like I don't get it. Like you're still getting paid though. What's the point?
We're not. You wouldn't get paid any less than if you were working with us.
Yeah.
You're just mad that I'm also getting paid too.
That's what it is.
Because I think they just don't want people to come destroy their cribs and stuff like that.
That too. Maybe. Yeah, that too. Definitely not. But like this guy though, like his name's Janai Cooper.
Okay.
He's facts. He's got like a lot of cribs and a lot of he has a very good reputation. His cleaners take really good care of everything. So you look at his houses and they all look prime time. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sure.
So what has been another question? What has the support been like? Like from the start to now, do you feel like people treat you differently when you first started? Like they weren't believing in you guys? Like friends I'm talking about, family.
Low key, yeah.
Yeah?
Low key, I feel like when you're first starting, you have people be like, I'll show you how to make some real money, you don't want to do all that.
Everybody's got something.
And then, then you start, pulling flips off, you start posting on social media, building the brand. You're on podcasts and people are talking to you, and now people are like asking advice,
right?
Like, oh, yo, can you put me on or show me what's going on? Mm-hmm. But initially, when we first started, you know, people were thinking it was a joke. Like, these guys aren't serious, not pulling nothing off.
Yeah.
So you see the checks and, you know, the pictures and photos and evidence. Now they're like, oh, yeah, you're the guy. What's going on?
Yeah, facts.
They're not there when it's time to put in the work, but they'll congratulate you.
Congratulate you, which I'm sure is the case with you guys too, though.
Yeah. We'll see it a bit. Like, you know, like us, I feel like we actually get support. Like, people actually mess with us. Like, but I know eventually, like, we'll get to a point where, like, more people will rock with us just because like we have grown, you know. When you grow, that's when they just like 100%
for sure. Nah, I mean it's easy to get in at that point, right?
Yeah, but it's good to see like early who supports. You know what I mean? Because even when you guys first started, I remember when you first started, like it wasn't a lot of people, but you had like you know the people actually that knew
for
you
sure.
were friends with you, were supporting, sharing your stuff. Right?
Not to get that like mistaken. There was definitely supporters for sure.
Yeah. And then now. Probably still same thing, but more people are gonna come up to you guys and try to lucrative deals and try to get involved any way they can because they see now.
I mean, ideally, when we do get national and we do branch out, I would actually love to have the people that are like that we're using to branch out just be the homies.
Okay,
you know, like be people that we know you, we trust you, like we want you to be successful as well. Like his little bro is actually trying to get on it too. He's a tradesman, and like we're thinking like for him possibly like. I mean, he could run if we're national. Like it's hard to run, right? So maybe he runs a region. You know, maybe he runs the Southwest, maybe the Northwest, whatever, something like that. I don't know. We ain't there yet. You know.
You said his brother's a tradesman, like working on houses and stuff.
No, he's a welder right now.
Yeah,
he's a welder.
Okay. Yeah. What one thing I was trying to put my brothers on is like, yo, when you be like an electrician, when you be like a plumber, so boom, we can start buying cribs, and then y'all can use your companies to fix the cribs, and then. It's just rolling like that.
Right. Trickle down economics, man. You know, it's no, absolutely.
I think that's the right mindset though.
For sure.
Like I think building an organization and building a company, you know, involving your circle and your people is not even trying to say giving back to the community, but like you're building it with your circle.
Yeah, you keep it in the family.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I completely believe in that, truthfully. You know?
Absolutely. And you know, you're also too like not to be like that guy, but you know, like keeping it black. You know, like. More black people getting businesses, getting property, getting that stuff, like that's what's going to be what lifts up the people as opposed to, you know, some of the other nonsense you might see.
Yeah, that's true. And other cultures do that. They keep it in. They tell their kids about investing at 8 years old, you know?
Yeah.
But so I have one question. So let's say I had 10K right now. What would y'all how would y'all recommend me to go about entering the real estate game? Like
cash?
Yeah, 10K cash. What's the play? What's next?
10K cash. It would depend on. Honestly, I would say the best thing for you to do at that moment is get your cash flow, increase the amount of money you have.
Yeah.
So I probably invest in a few Airbnbs. You could probably with 10K get like three of them running up and down.
Yeah.
And if you can go in on those on your own, you can cash flow like an extra $3,000 a month overall. Stack that up for like a year, and then.
Then you have your 40 bands.
You get your money back plus money on top of it, and now in a year's time you can put down payments on actual assets that are in your name. Because 10K is a good chunk of money if you get a really cheap property, but in reality, to buy like a home for $130,000, even though it's not a lot, 10K is not enough. But yeah, it's a way to grow the cash fairly decently.
With that being said, too, though, my bad, cut you off.
Sorry.
With that being said, too, though, I do think 10K would be enough to put you through a flip if you were like smart with it, and you could possibly like there are flips where you flip and you make $50,000 right off rip.
Yeah.
So that's not out of the equation for you.
Not at all.
It's not. With 10K, I think you can comfortably do that. You could get a loan. You could probably be good with that if you're quick with it.
Comfortably hold that down. With
If
like
you're
to do a flip.
Yeah, sure. I think so. If you were quick, got in, even if you got in out in 6 months.
I
think you'd be okay.
Well, how do flips cost you money? Because if you don't,
that's a great question.
Yeah, how do flips cost you money?
Monthly payments. Monthly payments, and like obviously there's processing fees, but like nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But holding the loan is what costs the most, because regardless if you're doing a flip, no matter what, at least it's gonna take 2 months. From when you buy the property to fix the property to sell the property, at least 90 days.
Your closing's like 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. So you're still looking at holding a loan for 2, 3, 4 months before you pay this thing off.
Yeah.
And you could be paying $1,300 US per month, and like if your profit is $20K, like you ate half of that holding your loan.
Right. I would also say like contractors, let's say, so when you get your loan, right, you allocate a certain amount of resources towards a budget. So let's say you say, okay, I bought the house, 100 grand, 30 grand is going into that, right? If that contractor decides either to take too long or that he needs more money or that, whatever, he can't do it with in the amount of money that he said he could originally, and you got to go over, that happens too. So now it's 40 grand. And now you went into it with the idea that it's a 30 grand and your numbers are set up for that. But now halfway through it, now it's a 40 grand property or 40 grand rehab, sorry.
And it's taking longer.
It's taking longer. Yeah. So that could be another thing. Just again, bad luck. Like you could have a pipe burst, which happened to us. You could have, wasn't there some it was chopped actually. There was this out front the house we had. We were trying to move this thing. There was some creepy rest in peace to this child, but there was some really, really creepy memorial for some kid who had died there, and we didn't want to knock that over because that's obviously really disrespectful. But it's scaring people away. People are going to this house and they're like, what's that?
It was in the front?
Right in front of the crib.
Right in front of the crib.
So was the property cheaper then? Does that change anything?
I mean, you would think it would. Well, we went out there and didn't know what it was when we saw it. I just was like, I don't know. I don't know. Because it was one of those ones where okay, so there was the house, right? And then it had its front lawn, sidewalk, little bit of lawn, which is still technically the property. It was in that little bit of lawn. So it was a little easy to miss. It wasn't the biggest thing in the world too, but it was noticeable. In hindsight, we probably should have at least had some questions about it when we first seen it. But yeah, that was something that held up the process. That was something that ended up costing us money. So, bad luck, things breaking, going over budget, and holding costs.
So basically, that 10K is to cover some of those things, and mainly the holding costs.
Yeah, mainly the holding costs.
Yeah, that's crazy because I had seen on Twitter it said "never buy a house" was the caption, and the man they opened the roof and it was full of bees.
Yo,
like 1,000. Y'all seen that one?
Yeah,
it was millions of bees or some shit. They said don't buy a crib.
That can happen though.
Yeah, for
it's
sure. So crazy.
Raccoons running through
You need a real good inspector.
Yo, trust me. And another thing actually that messes up a lot of people. So like we were saying before, right? The wholesaler wants to move this quick because they're usually on a 14-day timeline. So a wholesaler will present a deal to you and be like, you need to get back to me within 2 days or else you're not getting this. So then you think to yourself, you're like, oh, the numbers really work on this thing. Fuck it, I won't get the inspection because I just want to secure the property. But little do you know, this is just an example, there's termites in there. And there's a reason he didn't want you to do the inspection fee, right? Similar to basketball, how you never want to let the defense rush you. Don't let these guys rush you.
Because you're wondering, why are they giving me such a good deal so quick?
Yeah. Play at your pace, do get to...
Get to your spots.
Get to your spots. Literally.
No, that's lit though. But so y'all never been to Indiana?
Oh no, many times.
Oh, you've been?
Yeah, many times. We got peoples out there.
Yeah. I would just imagine y'all just calling people. Go check on the crib. From Autumn. They ain't step foot over there.
And I work at 9 to 5, so I'm running out of the office.
Go check this out. Literally, that's what every day looks like, bro. I mean, I got the watch on all the time typing.
Yo, that's what's up. But that's sick. That's a sick grind.
Yeah.
You guys both have a 9 to 5 now?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what's up.
So multiple streams, like you were saying, you kind of need that because your main. Right. Would you say your main is the 9 to 5?
Yeah.
And then this, but then you're gonna maybe.
We want it to be the flip of that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For sure.
That 9 to 5 is not. That ain't it.
That's the
not a dream, bro.
That shit is so whack.
Man,
I was saying it today. I was like, yo, 8 hours every day, 5 days straight.
The rest of your life?
Hell no.
Hell no. That's a long time to be in a bad mood for.
Yeah, bro. And then when I'm 65, almost dead. Now
you're good to go. You're good to go.
You're useless now. Dang, bro. That shit is crazy.
That's what it is, though. They know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they give you just enough to.
Just enough. That's what
just talking about.
Get your little
GST. Climate change incentive.
Yeah. Sweet. Damn, bro.
I feel like everyone has this mindset though, where that 9 to 5 life is not what anyone really wants anymore. You know what I mean?
In our generation, I think that's very prevalent.
Obviously, people still do 9 to 5s. Probably a good idea to have that as a main for now. But everyone's trying to find an out from that, from having to sit down for 8 hours at the computer. They want to spend more time freely, right?
Yeah.
So
I feel like we have a lot more opportunity in our generation now to do
crazy.
that. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Like people are becoming millionaires from their cell phone. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And technically, even like with what you guys are doing, you could do that.
Oh yeah.
You literally don't even have to actually ever go anywhere. Just call people. Yo, go check this out. Clean this.
It's crazy that we're investing in real estate, which is something that's tangible, physical thing. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, we run an online business.
Yeah.
We don't ever see these properties. Don't really see them. Don't touch them. Don't interact with them whatsoever. It's all run through a computer and a cell phone.
Yeah. If we do head out there though, we'll go check them out.
Yeah,
for sure. And like I was saying to him too though, because like the last time we was out there, we stayed in like a downtown hotel in Indianapolis. Next time, I mean, if we have a B&B, we might as well just spend the night in the B&B.
Yeah,
that's true.
You know, like it's nice enough. Yeah, why not?
For sure. No, that's crazy.
Properties, though.
Yeah. Kick up. That's good.
No, I definitely got to tap it because for a minute now, like me, I invest bare in stocks and crypto.
Yeah. Okay.
But like real estate is like it's harder to enter. Stocks I could just kick.
Yeah. Well, simple. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm on. And then, but real estate, like that's my next goal. Like I'm trying to buy a crib or like enter the game where I'm making money through real estate, like ASAP.
I'll tell you that's very doable.
Yeah, for sure. It's so and like even just hearing how y'all go through it, I'm like, yo, this shit is like. It's not as hard as it seems,
No, it's not. It's not. And you're like,
you got to put in a bit of work.
Put in the work, but it's like, it's not like, you don't need to be some innate genius to like the fact that you study business in school, you probably have, he probably has way more knowledge than the average person in the
100%. You're already ahead of the pack.
Like you got some people in there, like, let's just say, they're hard workers. That's what I'll say. Yeah, that's what I'll say.
Yeah, that's what it is. And they're probably good salesmen, too.
Some of them are, They got something good about them, like maybe they're good contractors, maybe they're well plugged in. They got something, but that's not. I don't know no geniuses in this. Do you?
No. No. And I think everyone has their skills,
Yeah.
Like for sure. And I think just tap into that skill and it's applicable to anywhere.
Like it's all about can you write a rhyme and can you dribble a ball? Realistically,
and that's why what we have this platform for like this is like a perfect setting and people like whole guests as well, people are like providing actual value, not just like what social media wants to see,
right.
This is real world shit, like people are buying houses, that's what they need to learn about and things like that.
And at a young age too, like the first property you bought, how old were you guys?
20.
Yeah, shit, that's low key a wrap. That was fire. No cap. Hey, make sure y'all check them out on the gram.
We'll link that in the bio for them.
Put that in there. Website too.
We'll put that for them too.
And if you're trying to enter the real estate game, you already know. First stop right here.
D2A Realty.
Yes,
sir.
Check us out.